I walked into the restaurant and froze. Her laugh hit me first. Soft, careless, familiar. Then I saw her sitting by the window, feeding a spoonful of red velvet cake to a man twice my arrogance. He wore confidence like cologne, expensive, thick, suffocating. She was leaning toward him, eyes glowing the way they used to when I said something funny. Only this time, the joke wasn't mine. My wife was feeding another man. Her CEO. She thought I was at work. I was supposed to be in a meeting across town, too busy to exist in her afternoon. But fate has a taste for irony. My meeting got cancelled. I stopped by that same restaurant to grab a coffee before heading home early. I wish I hadn't. Or maybe I'm glad I did. I stood there for a moment, invisible to her world of laughter and stolen glances. My fingers tightened around the phone in my pocket, not to take a photo. I already had enough of those. You see, this wasn't the first time I had suspected something. The late nights, the office dinners, the sudden silence when I entered the room, the way she started dressing differently for work. I noticed. I always notice. I'd been documenting everything for 3 weeks. Texts, call logs, photos, even her credit card charges. She was careful, but I was quieter. I walked toward their table. Each step felt heavier, not from heartbreak, but from the weight of calm I forced into my chest. I'd learned that rage is useless. Quiet men destroy louder. She looked up mid-laugh and froze. Daniel, she said, her voice cracking slightly. I smiled, a soft, polite smile, the kind you give a stranger. Mind if I sit? The CEO, Marcus, her boss, looked up, confused but not apologetic. The kind of man who assumes he owns every room he walks into. I pulled out a chair and sat across from them, ignoring the tension that wrapped around the table. You two seem close, I said, my tone even, almost curious. Daniel, this isn't, she started, but I raised a hand slightly. Relax, I said. I'm just observing. Marcus leaned back, smirking. Look, man. This is just lunch. Don't make it dramatic. I turned to him. Lunch with cake, and her feeding you. He didn't answer. He didn't need to. His silence was a confession in itself. I took a slow breath, watching her panic ripple beneath the surface of her calm facade. I had imagined this confrontation so many times, shouting, accusations, maybe even tears. But now I felt nothing. Just clarity. I reached into my jacket and placed an envelope on the table. Her hands trembled before she even touched it. What is this? She asked. Evidence, I said. Of your affair. Dates, messages, hotel bookings, all neatly organized. Marcus shifted, his smirk fading. You've been spying on her. I turned my gaze on him. I was protecting my investment. You, of all people, should understand that, Mr. CEO. He didn't respond. Neither did she. I leaned forward. The board of your company will receive a copy of that file tonight. HR 2. You violated your company's policy, a relationship with a subordinate, conducted during work hours, using company funds. Marcus's jaw tightened. You wouldn't dare. I smiled again. That same polite smile. Already did. He stood up abruptly, muttering something under his breath before walking away, leaving her there, small, trembling, and speechless. She tried to speak. Daniel, please. I can explain. Explain what? I said quietly. How you traded our marriage for office gossip and hotel sheets. Her eyes filled with tears. But they didn't move me. Tears don't mean regret. They mean exposure. I stood. By the way, I said, you'll want to check your email. I sent you something. She blinked through her tears. What did you do? Just a transfer of ownership papers, I said calmly. You remember the apartment? The one you insisted we buy under both our names? She nodded slowly. It's mine now. You signed a power of attorney 2 months ago. Remember? You said it was for the tax work. I repurposed it. Her lips parted in shock. The car is also under my name now. The joint account is closed, your credit card's cancelled. I left you what you really wanted, him. I paused, letting the words sink in. Oh, and your company inbox is probably buzzing right now. HR moves fast when scandal threatens shares. She reached for me. Daniel, please. I stepped back. You ended this long before I sat down at this table. I turned to leave, but something made me stop. Maybe it was the quiet in her voice when she whispered my name, like she suddenly remembered who I was, or who I used to be. I looked back once. You could have told me you were unhappy, I said. I might have understood. But you lied. And you lied beautifully. Then I walked out. 2 days later, Marcus resigned. Personal reasons, the statement read. Her department was reassigned. She stopped posting her perfect lunches and office selfies. The laughter died. As for me, I didn't gloat. I didn't celebrate. I just rebuilt, quietly. Some nights I think about that moment. Her eyes meeting mine across the table. The cake on her spoon, untouched. I remember how calm I felt. How final it was. They say revenge is sweet, but they're wrong. It's cold. Precise. Served with silence. And that's exactly how I wanted it.